Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the McMinnville Super Regional. Texas Lutheran wins today 5-2 to advance to the 2019 NCAA World Series. And we've got Linfield student athletes and Coach Vaughan here with us. Coach Vaughan, just give us an opening statement about the outstanding series that you and your team and opposition had.
Obviously it was a great series. Certainly one of the best probably been a part of in just terms of two really good teams and momentum swings and big plays and huge close plays home plate and big catches in the out. It had a little bit of everything, it seemed like. And, so that it was a really fun series to be a part of. It was a really hard series to lose because of that. I think, I keep going back as a coach to the first game when we had several opportunities to win the game with a runner at second, and we just couldn't quite get the kid home. So that when you go look back down when we lose, you're just like, oh, we were just so close. And, we had some opportunities today a little bit to get going, but to Texas Lutheran's credit, they had a couple of hits, find some holes, and then they executed a little bit with runners in scoring position. And, but just so proud of how our team, even to the end, we have bases loaded and have Chelsea up, and even before that, having Dare and Abby and Mac up, like at any moment, you're like, well, we get a hit. And then when we got two on, like, well, we might get one of our big hits and get a home run, tie this thing up right now. And just had no doubt. There's a lot of times as a coach, you don't know if that, you kind of have quite a bit of doubt that'll happen. But I was having visions in my mind of one of those things happening. And I was telling Chelsea afterward, because obviously being last out is never fun, but she has been unbelievably clutch for us this year. She's had, I think, 3 walk-off hits or squeezes on the year, and so there's 20 other outs in the game besides that one. So I told her that that's the one obviously that gets remembered a little bit because of the end, but she sure had a great year, especially in clutch situations. So proud of her, and just immensely proud of our whole team. They bought into our program heavy and had a great season.
Coach, you alluded to the fact that it wasn't going to be decided to that last out. Talk about just what puts your team in that kind of position throughout the year.
I think one is we end up being a really strong team 1 through 9. We didn't have a lot of parts in our lineup where you just felt like sometimes you have teams where you kind of feel like you just kind of got to get through that part of the lineup, get back to your better kids. But this year, our 1 through 9, everybody could hit, and I think that helped a lot. And we've had some close games. We've had some comeback wins, so I think that helps. And I think our team is just so bought in, and they're gonna get me. They care for each other a great deal, and I think when it comes down to close games, I think that matters a lot. I think they're fighting for each other and fighting to play another day, and you can see that in the way our kids, I think, approach their last at bats, and they'll certainly have, I think, no regrets because of that.
Questions for the coach or student athletes?
Yeah, Chelsea and Mac, how does having the game postponed until today affect your preparation for this, starting a game in the top of the 5th?
We kind of joked around that when our game got postponed against Whitworth, we're like, this is what was prepping us for, kind of thing. But we came out with the same energy, and we knew what we had to do, and at least we thought that we had the advantage of being at home and being able to come out and do the same thing every single day, and knowing that we have a lot of people that are hot and just trying to stay loose and playing music and having fun, and that's when we play our best.
Kind of same as that. I just thought it was like, it didn't affect us much because it was like almost an entirely brand new game. Started tie, basically a 0-0 game, top of the 5th, so it's like starting all over. We both had our 3, 4, 5s up, so it was like starting a brand new game.
Coach, what made Texas Lutheran a tough opponent for this team?
Their lefties are good. Their leadoff, Jordan is probably going to be an All-American. You can see why. She's really fast and puts the ball in play and puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And Martin hits behind her, does a pretty good job too. And so that combo at the top, and then the Snow and Ouellette, I think is how you pronounce it. But they really got hot at the end of the year, and especially Skylar ended up being the player of the year. We had a hard time getting her out. She hit really well, and so you get the right kind of kids in order that way pretty hot, and that makes it tough. And their pitchers, I thought, they just competed hard, and she pitched well enough today to hold us to 5 hits, and we're a good hitting team. I think always as a hitting coach, I'll go back and say a lot of that was just us not executing some swings too. I certainly think we had a lot of the same pitches that we hit and scored 9 runs on yesterday. So. But softball is a tough game. The ball's got to find holes sometimes. You miss a pitch by literally that much, and it's a fly out instead of being a home run. So there's a lot of that goes into that. It just felt like we didn't catch many breaks today with some of the hits. They went, 2 people, or we missed them just a little bit, and they were deep flyouts instead of bigger hits. But Texas Lutheran, you got to give all the credit to them. Wade does a really good job, and they're tough, and they have a lot of pitching depth. I think that helps them, and he plays a lot of kids. I think they have a lot of belief too. Like, he sticks some kids in that don't have a lot of bats, and they stepped in and have some quality at bats for them. But certainly was impressed with their left-handed hitters. They did a good job.
Mac, you mentioned the energy of the team was really good this series. I assume that was the case all year. Talk about the team's chemistry this season.
Yeah, I think every year we find a way to have really good team cohesion, and we kind of joke around that we don't have any other friends besides our teammates, just because you think about it, almost all of us room together. A lot of us have similar classes or have similar majors, and all the time that we spend on the softball field, watching film, in the weight room, team parties at our coach's house, all of this stuff that, we just can't not be friends with each other, and we all get along really well, and it kind of shows on our team, especially whether it's on and off the field, that we have faith in whoever's up to bat in any situation, or whoever's on the mound, or whoever has to go in a pitch run. I think it all kind of pays off, and it shows our energy that we have in the dugout, because it's just fun to dance around and bang some balls on some buckets and create just a beat that makes everyone laugh and smile. So
There's some good chances. Believe me, I liked it. It's cool. Chelsea, what was your approach going into that final at bat? Did you change your approach, or are you just going up there doing kind of your normal thing?
I was kind of doing the normal thing. I felt good vibes because, like Jackson said, I clutch situations I feel were my favorite this whole season. So when I got up there and I hit that ball up in the air, I was like,
please go foul.
Please be foul. Please give me another chance. But she caught it, so it's just like, it sucks that I couldn't come up clutch this one time. But I'm just glad that our team is so bought in, and our team chemistry is so good that it sucks to be the last out. It sucks to be the last out in a big series like this, and just such a big tournament, that it was nice that night that all my team had my back, and Mac especially was right next to me, and just had me the entire time. So
yeah, kind of hoping for a gust of wind there. Push it out there, even if it hits a car. Cool.
It's something.
Final question, Jackson. Reflect on your senior group this season.
Just awful proud of them. We had some kids that really stepped up. Maddie Colson had been a backup player literally her whole career, and a pinch runner, and lo and behold, she ends up being our leadoff hitter, and ends up being an all-conference player, and whatever, she had 330 and had some home runs, and the kid who had just been kind of, like I said, backup and slapper, and she had a great year, and Paige had a great year at second base, and Maddie, I already did Maddie, but Paige and Shelby, those two did a great job, and Shelby's pitched so many innings for us over her career, and she certainly, I'm sure, disappointed that she didn't pitch her best this weekend, but we've been to 3 super regionals, and she's been our number 1 pitcher all 3 times, and so you can't say enough good things about just what she's meant to our program, because we wouldn't be where we are without her. And Tana Benson, super proud of her. Same thing, has been a backup pitcher pretty much her whole career and not seen many innings at all, and this year she ends up being our solid number 2 most of the year, gets first team all conference, has an ERA just over 2, and a kid who just deserves it. She works super hard, is a great teammate, everybody loves her. And then Darian, I think we kind of talked about at the end of the year, we need one person to kind of step up to be kind of the alpha, and Darian kind of did that for her. She ended up solidifying the 4 spot, led close to leading the country in doubles, had that home run that was a friggin' laser the other day that I think wowed everybody a little bit. Has one of the best arms I've ever seen in right field, so all our kids just love watching her throw the ball. And so they did a great job, and I think they became their own class, where they didn't try to copy last year's senior class and lead like them. They just led like they wanted to lead, and they really did a really good job. And I think they just let our junior class lead as well a little bit, because our juniors are a pretty strong leadership group in a big class. But we'll miss them. You miss all the seniors. I think that's what we talk about. Is always the most sad part about this, is these guys as juniors get to play one more year. So that always is in the back of your mind, makes it feel a little bit better. Not a lot, but as seniors, you just know you're done. And you just don't ever get to do this again. When you're a senior, you can go play rec league, you can go play whatever, but you don't get to go to war with your sisters and be with them every day and do all the stuff you do. And that's the part that's really hard, and you feel bad as a coach even for them the most, because it's just the last time they ever get to do this again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach and student athletes, on a great season, and good luck in your summer, and look forward to seeing you play next year.
Thanks.